Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you to all the sponsors for organizing this event. I am an event organizer myself, so I know how hard it is, so thank you to the team for organizing it. My name is Ankit Taneja, and today we'll be talking about DevOps and Salesforce, where and how to get started. I mean, DevOps, if you read the summary of the talk, then there are at least 7 to 8 companies, some of them are here on the sponsor banner, who are trying to solve the DevOps problem. And yeah, so I'm just going to give you a quickly intro about what is Salesforce DevOps right now and how to get started with it. A little bit about myself. My name is Ankit Taneja, as I mentioned. I'm a freelance Salesforce architect, have 10 plus years of experience. I lead the Berlin Architect Group, and I hosted 2 podcasts called Wir Forcepreneur and Wir sind Ohana, which is in German. And you can learn more about my work on my website or connect me on LinkedIn. So let's begin. Agenda. I'm going to keep it very simple, straightforward. So what is CICD? Why is it important, how to implement it, and then we will talk about do we need third-party tools, right? So a quick show of hand, how many of you know what is CI/CD? So I can just get, because then we can skip and come to the demo really fast. So, which is the interesting part. So I'll just quickly summarize, this slide summarizes CI/CD in a nutshell. So CI is continuous integration. Now, if you're working on a big enough org and you're a team of more than 2 people, like accounts, contacts, cases, opportunity, that is bread and butter. So everybody's working on those objects. So continuous integration basically means if 2 people are working on kind of the same stuff, you want to ensure that their work integrates and does not break each other's work. That's what continuous integration is. And continuous development is the same thing. Once you have tested that everything is integrating and playing well with each other, then you can go ahead and deploy it further. And that together becomes continuous delivery, which is basically keep developing new products and keep moving in this infinite cycle. So plan, code, build, test, and then you release, and then you deploy, optimize, and monitor for errors which never come. So why is CI/CD important? Any thoughts? Why is it important? Okay. So let's say there's the scenario. Typical, a company, 1,500 licenses, 1 architect, some devs, some analysts. So now everybody's working on their thing. Without a pipeline or CI/CD, everybody's working in their sandboxes, and things are happening left, right, and center. People are developing in production. This happened to me 2 days ago. True story. Administrator in our team said, hey, I made new 2 profiles, and they made it directly in production. No joke. So this happened. Why is CI/CD important? Without CI/CD, you're still working with chain sets. There are chances of overwriting. So let's say I deployed a new layout. Christian, my friend, also working with me, deployed his layout. His changes will overwrite my changes. There's no way. If you don't have a Git-based solution, there's no way to figure out who did what. And chances of rollback, and you can also not roll back. How to implement CI/CD in Salesforce? Well, what you need basically is a version control system. It can be Git, Bitbucket, GitLab, any Git or your own hosted, version control system. You need a build system like a Docker container or somewhere where you can fire up instance and then kind of run those tests. You need a YAML file, which is basically the director of the whole orchestration. So in the YAML file, I'll show you guys quickly the YAML file, which basically tells what needs to be done at what stage. And then you have your Salesforce org, where you run everything. Right, 6 minutes in, and we are at the demo. Really good. So I'll first show you what the CI/CD in Salesforce looks like. So I need to now switch to mirroring, because then we see each other. Right, so I'll minimize this. So I'll just quickly go to the account object, and I'll just create a new custom field. Basically, I created a custom field. It's called text field C. Now let's say you want to publish it, and here I created a GitHub repo, which is basically a repo for this particular org. And here, as you can see, this is the YAML file. So this YAML file is used for, should I zoom in? This YAML file is basically there to validate Apex code, but we are not going to do any Apex right now because it's too less time. But as you see, this is a YAML file which checks for best practices. As I said, you need some place to run a build system, so this will run on an instance of Ubuntu. Then it just checks out your branch source code, installs PMD, uploads and then runs PMD. If there are any PMD failure, it's going to upload the artifacts, and then you can also send email, plus you can also add comment, you can automatically comment the things on your pull request. So let's just see how a CI/CD or a DevOps thing works on Salesforce right now. So I just created this custom field, and now I want to publish it to the next instance, let's say. So first thing I'll do is I'll create a new branch over here, and I'll just call it FTD22. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull the new custom field that I just created. So it takes a little while because of the thingy. I was thinking if I should be dependent on the Wi-Fi, or I should just do it pre-hand and show a video. But now there it is. So the field is now here. You can add the field. You can say initial commit. And then you can do the commit and publish the branch. Now, you would go over here. As you can see, you would have another branch. View all branches. Right. So you have another branch, and then you go ahead and create a new pull request, initial commit, add new field, and then you create a pull request. So this is basically Salesforce DevOps. This is in a nutshell. You have your Git based. I didn't show you how I connected the VS Code to the Git. So in this, I skipped the part of connecting the VS Code to the Git repo and the org. But basically, you authorize your org over here, and then you initiate a Git repo, and then you just clone it in your local project. So back to the presentation. Right. So in summary, if you see what GitHub, this is like, as I said, this is a very beginner's talk. So it's basically what you need to do a Salesforce DevOps is get VS Code, you need Git, you need to get some knowledge of pipelines, how the pipelines work. What we also saw that it is not too easy, I don't know if it's the easy word, but not too simple for the low-code folks because you need to go into the CLI, and I basically had a lot of pushback from my team where they were like, a lot of people who like to click and not code. They were like, oh, okay, what is VS Code? Why do I need to go over there? And then was the question, that we should get somebody like a DevOps engineer on the team. So you can get a DevOps engineer, or in this time, third time, this is the time where you can also get third-party tools. So one of the tools that I'm working currently with, so before that, when do you need a tool? Let's say if you are a big team. If you are just 2 people, you can still do the Salesforce DevOps without needing like a big team. Without needing like a tool. You can decide your own pipelines. But let's say if you're a small team without an architect on board, you would need a tool. And thirdly, if you just don't want to deal with the whole pulling and pushing. So even if I merge this field right now, if I merge this field in the main branch, it will not be deployed because I have not programmed it in the YAML file. So you need to kind of go ahead and write that YAML file, and you need those things. But this is where the new tooling and all the tools are coming in. So I'm working closely with TOUCHE. And basically what you can do over here is you go in the app. Now I've already connected the Salesforce org with the same GitHub org. And you can create a new feature, which you can call like a test feat 1. It's connected to the same sandbox. Now we go ahead and we will create another new field. Let's call it FTD demo, demo, it's 100 places, 100 characters. I've not added description help text, that's bad. Next. Save. Right. So now, what these tools are basically doing, you can do DevOps on your own. There's no stopping to that. But what these tools help you do is what you will see over here is as you can see, there are custom fields. So if we deployed the last time, I just deployed the custom field. I didn't deploy profile. I didn't deploy the layout. I didn't deploy the permissions. And this is where the tools are coming handy. And now what you can do is you can just do pull request, and you can create it from here, add fields. And this will do the whole thing for you, what we previously did by ourselves. So we needed to go and click and press all the places. Second. So now it's doing. Is it time? No, okay, so it's time. Yeah, right. So coming back to the thing, that's the demo. So basically what I want to say is like DevOps is sales. This was like a very beginner talk for DevOps. This is how you get started with it. You need a GitHub, you need a repo, you need an org, you need to connect both of them. You can do pretty much everything yourself. You can. It's the question of return on investment. It's the question of, do you have someone on the team who understands this? It's the question of governance, So all of these questions are there. And thank you. I think I did pretty good in time, huh? Questions? Question? Yo.
So you saw the demo with youth, okay? So, but there is a lot of tools in the market.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any view, or we have used other tools that you can speak about?
So I am working with Goethe, and they paid me to come here, so I have to say they are the best. But it's like driving the car. You have so many cars, but each car is taking you from place A to place B, right? Now it's on you. Do you want a hatchback? Do you want a sports car? Do you want functional, which does it work? You can also use your own bicycle, but car is nice. It protects you. It gives you warmth. It has seat warmers. So my view is, I cannot give you the view because, as I said, I'm working with them. But all of them are solving the same problem. And I personally want to see what will happen in the DevOps market. If you look from the business point of view, I think there will be some accumulation. There will be some, some acquiring here and there. And then there would be one or two big players. And then Salesforce also threw their hat in the ring with the DevOps Center, which is also not to, if you just saw Felipe's keynote, which is also not to be underestimated. So, yeah. Sweet. Thank you. Let's enjoy the free time that we won.